making money this year isn't going to be as easy as it has been the last 2 years. If you are not actively looking on how to increase your income, you are going to be in a huge trouble pretty soon because there won't be any free money anymore. You can't just throw money into Tesla expecting it to grow 500%. Crypto, NFT, Bitcoin, whatever it is, needs years to just recover. While there are huge geopolitical changes happening around the world, inflation isn't going to stop. So your first priority right now should be how to make more money. As we are heading into a recession or maybe even a depression, if you're not prepared, you are going to be doomed. You don't want to end up in the streets. That's why it's time to take action. You are not going to make any significantly progress in a few months unless you have been working hard under the radar, and this year is going to be your year. However, there are things you can actually do. There are side hustles that can really earn you real income. What I am about to share with you are real sources of income, real ways you can make money in a relatively short period of time. Let me make this straight. It's not an overnight thing. You still need some coaching and a certain level of learning, but it's not like becoming a dentist. So, if you are ready, give this video a thumbs up. And let's start with the first one. Number 1. Social Media Manager. Social media was a thing for over a decade, but it was right when the pandemic started, when social media blew up again. Suddenly, everyone was at home doing TikToks. With all of this free time, people spent endless hours creating content just for fun. But in the middle of this chaos, when shops closed their doors, when people were forced to stay at home, when we were not allowed to interact with each other, businesses had to come up with more creative ways to sell, since without sales, they would definitely go broke. Of course, businesses like Amazon blew up, but many small businesses saw selling through social media as their only way to survive. Suddenly, 40 or 50-year-old adults realized that it's time to hire teenagers or 20-year adults to run their social media to keep the business running. And that's the opportunity you have to grasp. When someone comes into your store, what do? You show him the product. You tell them everything that's great about the product and convince them to buy it. But on social media, you can do that on a massive scale by creating stories, reels, TikToks that can convince thousands of people to buy that product or this service. Of course, it takes a lot of time to actually master SMM, but you don't have to be a professional to start. Take a course from someone who has done and achieved some level of success. After that, take a few free clients. Then find someone who is a professional social media manager and offer him to be his or her assistant. Internet is filled with such jobs. You don't have to be a full-time assistant, just as much as you can take. Do that for a few months, earning some money, and then find clients yourself. It's not a 9 to 5 type of job. Once you learn how it works, it becomes more of a management. And then, in the long run, you can turn it into a full-time job if you would like so. Number 2. Research. I am not talking about professional research that PhD students do. I am talking about Google research. It feels weird because who would pay you for Googling something? Anybody can do that. But here is the thing. Everybody is creating content today. Even people whose businesses aren't online at all, but they might be starting podcasts because there is so much they can share. However, when you start a podcast, especially when it's not your full-time job, you need someone to do the research for you. On podcasts, people discuss like everything. So instead of wasting your time, it's much more efficient to hire someone to do the research for you and send you ready points for your podcast. People even go to Fiverr to find someone to do the research for them. All you need to start doing this is some free time, laptop, and internet. Number 3. Airbnb. The age of COVID is over, and the world is back to traveling. Of course, a lot of nonsense is happening all around the world, but overall, things are getting back to normal. People are traveling again, renting places. And the great part about it is that you do not necessarily have to own the place. I know people who lease long term and then rent them on Airbnb for short term rents. You need some money to afford the rent in the first place, but it definitely pays off, especially you don't have to buy the property. Margins are definitely lower, but risks are a lot lower. You do this for a couple of years, and you have real life experience on what kind of property to buy, rent it out. Start with one and scale it out from there to three, five, or maybe even 10, and congrats, you have a business that pays more than your job. Number four is copywriting. Copywriters are the backbone of online sales. You go to a website and you have a nicely written script that convinces you to buy whatever they are selling. You receive a DM from a business that sells something. Who do you think wrote that script? Exactly, a copywriter. You get weekly newsletter from a company or a page or a channel you are subscribed to. Who do you think writes these scripts? Exactly, copywriters. It's not easy to become one if you don't have great writing skills, but that's not a problem. Most of the copywriters I know have taken good courses, started writing scripts, and after a lot of trial and error, they have got enough feedback that allows them to understand what sells and what doesn't. Number five, coaching. A lot of people are good at something by the time they are 20 or 25. It could be anything from a professional job to a sport or even a school project. You have been good at math back in school. It doesn't matter if you are 25, 27, or 30. There is nothing wrong in teaching math to teenagers. If you speak a second language, you can teach English. If you play a piano or a violin, teach people how to play that instrument. You see, it's how easy to find a side hustle. Whatever you are good at, there are plenty of people who are just learning how to do that, and you can just take them from zero to your level. You don't have to be a professional, award-winning math teacher. There are plenty of websites where you can find clients. I have a friend who is really good at physics, since he has been going to gym for years already, and then complains that he wants to make more money. How about monetizing your skills? Coach people. Teach them how to build a body like yours. You don't have to be super genius to learn how to start doing any of these side hustles, and they are side hustles. All that you need to learn to do that I cannot help you with is stop being lazy, stop complaining, and start doing. Forget about how long it will take. Forget about how much money you could be making. Just start doing, start learning, start putting that knowledge into practice. Get the same sales, get some clients. As you do that, you will figure out how to expand that, on how to charge more, how to hire people, and turn it into a business. It's just a matter of time. But if you keep being lazy, nothing is going to happen. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.